Joe is a TikToker who shares his life through videos, often traveling the world with his girlfriend. This time, they took their van deep into the woods for a camping trip and documented everything. After arriving and finding the perfect spot, they spent the night in the van. The next morning, Joe started filming as usual, while his girlfriend went to explore the area, and what she found left them both completely stunned. Before you jump to conclusions and say it looks fake, watch the entire video. Then, let's talk.
Huh? What? What?
What is that?
What the?
That was not there last night.
Nah, that shit wasn't here last night. We pulled up here. I come over here and set up this solar thing last night. You ain't do that. Holy shit.
They were hesitant to involve the police. They could have just left and stayed safe, but after thinking it over and realizing it might be a murderer who could harm others in the future, they decided to contact the authorities for help.
So I kind of have something crazy and weren't sure who to call. So we were camping off of the forest road right next to Douglas Fir last night. There was a rock that we woke up to that was carved into that said, "I will kill again," placed next to our van on a tree stump. But no.
Felt like we should have called and told somebody there was a note that said, "I will kill again," scrawled on a rock and left near a van in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. So what we need to do, did you take a photo of it at all?
Yes.
And a video.
So what we want to do, we need to contact, I'm going to have you contact the Whatcom County Sheriff's Office.
Okay.
And they're the ones that take care of that for us here, but it's good for us to know as well. Well, let's see. James Griffin.
Okay.
He's a Forest Service patrol captain, and then he can pass that on with the Whatcom County for the Sheriff's Office as well.
I will give him a call.
All right. Thank you for letting us know.
Thank you.
Be
Bye-bye.
careful.
Be careful.
No, hey, Alex, how secure do you feel up here now?
You don't even know the cop's number.
This
This isn't even the cop's number. This is a Forest Service guy.
The forest ranger wasn't much help, so they eventually decided to call the police.
We're at Cloud 9 right now. Or no, Chair 9. It's a pizza joint right down the road.
Is the rock with you?
No, we left it right there. We did take pictures of it, but like I said, it's right down the road. We left it right where it was, just so we could get into service and away
Get the
from
hell
that
away
spot.
from the rock.
Yeah, are you going to be at Chair 9 for a few minutes?
Yeah, we'll be here.
Let me call my sergeant and see if he wants me to collect the rock or if just both of them be sufficient. So,
Yeah.
If y'all don't want the rock, I'm going to go back and get it. That's pretty cool. Like, I've never been left a love note from a serial killer.
It's just...
well, I guess, one of my thoughts is, have we had anything suspicious like that happen in that area
Yeah.
or anywhere else?
Hey.
So let me ask my sergeant what he thinks, and then I'll call you back.
Okay.
Ma'am, and I don't know if it counts for anything on the police scale, but I'm a pretty wild individual and not easily scared, and that shit me to heebie-jeebies.
No, that would weird any normal person out, yeah.
And I'm not normal. That's the thing. I'm very abnormal, but that scared me.
And the abnormal people, yeah.
Yeah. How long do you think before you call back? Because once we go inside, the service kind of dips out.
Less than 5 minutes.
Okay, perfect. I'll just stay out here.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
I'll just make a call and call you back.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Bye-bye.
Despite their fear, they decided to return to the campsite to collect the stone as evidence. But to their surprise, when they got there, another group had already set up camp in the exact same spot, so they approached to warn them about what they had found.
Hello. Hey, guys. We just wanted to warn you about something. We stayed here last night. Were you asleep? Oh, where you at? Sorry. Hey, we stayed here last night. I'm going to show you something real quick. So you see this right here?
Yeah.
We stayed here last night, and we reported this. This was not here when we went to bed, but this rock right here that somebody scrawled, "I will kill again," was laid on this stump sometime between when we went to bed and when we came back. And we came back to get the rock because it freaked us the out, dude. When did you guys come back? We were here last night in the morning and it was there. So we left it there and went down and got service and called the cops. We came back to get this. When we saw you here, we're like, hey, we're going to tell you what we found. Yeah. We've stayed here 2 out of the last 3 nights. It's completely silent. The book is wonderful, but that was really freaky, dude. Well, I mean, I'm strapped, so. Yeah. I said, hey, if you're going to come serial kill me, yeah. Goddamn fair game, cuz. Exactly. Hey, thanks for the warning. Yeah. I'm Koo. Koo? My name's Joe, man. Are you staying up here in the PNW? Joe. Joe? And that's out.
No, I might just stay up and wait for this dude.
I'm thinking maybe it's just like a local spot and the locals wanted us out and that's what it was.
I'm going to take my hatchet, put it in.
Yep.
Hey, we're going to find out. Right, hey, man. Thank you so much.
You guys don't hear from me? Something happened to me.
Yep,
all right.
We know.
Be safe, Koo. Nice to meet you, dude.
Now let's break this down. The fact that they called the police and warned the new campers makes the whole encounter seem real. No one would go to those lengths just to fake something. I'll admit I was skeptical at first, but those actions made me believe it might have actually happened. Whether the person who left that rock was a real murderer or just a twisted prankster, it's definitely something that would freak anyone out. But we also have to consider the possibility that this was staged. If it turns out to be fake, it really wouldn't look good for them. And I genuinely hope they didn't go through all of this just for views. Let me know what you think about the whole situation in the comments. Vicky is a girl who loves camping and dedicates her channel to her explorations and adventures, showing the beautiful side of nature and spending nights in remote locations. But in this particular video, she would encounter something rare, something many people try to avoid. She and her friend decided to go on a camping trip, spending the night near a lake around Llyn Ogwen. They parked the car and started on foot toward the spot.
Here's where we're going. So we think we found quite a little quiet lake spot for tonight. It's near Llyn Ogwen and that little busy area. And yeah, so hopefully think I've been quite clever in where we've parked and how we found it. And I'm thinking we're going to be fairly alone tonight. So that's always good. Can snow down here in September. See that little dot up there? That's Amy at the top of the hill. And here's me back at the bottom. Because why? We forgot the water filter. And we realised when we was right at the top. It doesn't look that steep from here, but I promise you, I promise, it's steep. Tiny little wig.
After a long hike, they eventually arrived at the lake.
So here we are at Llyn, beep, and don't know what this is. They've covered up the car park, which is here. There's no longer access to the world's most perfect car camping or van spot ever. Meanies. But yeah, here's our location. Very flat ground over there. I mean, we might camp there, or we might find some around there. We shall see.
They set up their camp and took some time to relax, while a pack of sheep wandered nearby, grazing close to their campsite.
We have been greeted with these sheep everywhere.
So the sheep are now making their way around the lake in an orderly fashion.
As night fell, they settled in and went to sleep. The next morning, they woke up, made some coffee, and began the hike back to their car. But what they found when they got there left them in shock.
So coming back from the car, from our camp, I have 4 flat tyres and a smashed windscreen and a smashed window, complete with rock inside.
Poor car. Are you still on hold, babe?
Yeah. I've been on the phone for 57 minutes.
For someone who didn't want us to stay here, they've made us stay here a real long time. Strange.
Trying to get rescued from this place. The breakdown people don't cover it. So on the phone with the insurance, and it's looking like it's going to be bye-bye to the car. It's going to have to get scrapped. I'm going to have to make a claim. But it's not going to be repairable, apparently, because of the damage. So it's probably going to be bye-bye car. So the farmer's literally killed our car. Murdered it. Even yesterday, somebody else was parked just over there, not blocking the gate as well. Another local person walking to the lake. There's no gate access blocked at all. He saw us probably, yesterday, when he came in, heard the sheep. I guess he really hates wild campers, because it's not like we're in the way of the gate, so what other reason could it be?
No, nothing was stolen from the car.
Nothing was stolen.
Why would someone even do this? Their car may have been parked near the gate of that property, but it wasn't blocking it. It's honestly sad that there are people out there who would rather destroy something than wait and have a simple conversation with the owner. Next to the car, there was a dry patch about a meter long, roughly the size of a quad bike or a small car, suggesting that whoever did this had been there not long before the girls returned from their campsite. It's a disturbing thought, but at least they were safe and unharmed. Kevin is a man who loves exploring nature, often camping, hiking, and spending nights in various forests and remote locations, which he shares on his channel, Small Plots. His videos are usually calm, relaxing, and fun to watch. But in this particular video, something happened that kept him on edge all night. He had planned to do a stealth camp in a sketchy spot in the woods.
Nobody should be camping where I'm going to camp tonight. It's an incredibly sketchy area, kind of right at the edge of a city neighborhood and an industrial zone with a little bit of light commercial mixed in. You're watching Small Plots with Kevin. I'm Kevin. We got about an hour before dark, so I'm moving. I'm going. We're a little behind schedule. It's okay. But probably the less amount of time I'm there, the better, because of the aforementioned sketchiness.
After a short hike, he found a spot that seemed suitable and set up his tent.
The tent is set up. It's kind of a big pain in the butt, to be honest. There's rocks in the ground on one side, a big root in the other. Still the best spot around here, especially because I'm really running out of daylight here. Not a ton of time before the sun sets. The best part about this tent setup is there's trees right there that I can easily just hang a ridge line and just easy tarp it. Don't have to figure anything crazy out. I want to do that soon. Any semblance of sun has made way for overcast skies, or it's just setting. I can see kind of some yellow in the distance, but any clearness in the sky rather is completely gone. Total overcast, no drip drops yet, but I can feel it in my bones. All right, let's get the tarp up.
As night fell, he cracked open a beer and settled into his tent, enjoying his drink while talking to the camera for a bit before going to sleep. But that's when it happened.
It's got to be a rain alarm for the airport right over there. I've heard that before when I've been camping in the vicinity while it was raining. They're like, oh God! Something just ran by the tent. It was the lights in my eyes, I couldn't see anything. Had to have been a deer. Whew! I saw like movement and this lights in my eyes. It must have come like right down a hill here and ran across. Oh man. Oh man. That was 3 feet from me. I don't see any eyes looking back. I don't think. Wait, I just thought I did. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't even remember what I was talking about. Between the eerie alarm happening over at the airport and whatever it was that just ran past me about 3-4 feet in front of me, I think it's safe to say I'm a little bit on edge. I'm just sitting here, letting my eyes get used to the darkness, scanning. I don't see anything. I don't see anything on the quote-unquote horizon, the top of the berm. I don't see anything in the dark. I don't see lights. The only thing that makes me think it wasn't a deer was I didn't hear any crashing before or afterwards. Deer are not like that subtle. And I didn't hear any crashing before it came in. Maybe when I listen to the video I will. But I didn't hear any crashing before or after. I just heard something run past me. I'm sure the camera picked it up. It was like right there. Whew, eerie. Of course my brain keeps going like, what if it was a person? But I don't think a person would be that light on their feet. It was really fast.
Whatever it was, it shook him. He couldn't shake the feeling that he wasn't safe for the rest of the night. He still can't say exactly what it was, but the strange part is how quiet it was. You'd expect to hear clear footsteps or rustling if it were a deer, but there was almost nothing. That part remains a mystery. Let me know what you think in the comments, and while you're at it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It's free, and you can always change your mind later. Also, a huge thank you for 30,000 subscribers. This honestly feels like a dream, and I can't believe I get to live it. Your support means the world to me, and I truly hope you're enjoying this video. Tommy is a man who loves the wilderness. His channel is all about building a real cabin in the woods and camping inside it through all kinds of severe weather. His videos are usually peaceful and relaxing, but this time he wanted to try something different. He planned to spend the night in an abandoned watchtower high up in the mountains, accompanied by his family. But the night would turn out to be far more terrifying than expected. Not long after starting their journey, they were stopped by a fallen tree blocking the trail.
Well, we ran into a slight problem already. Just started to turn onto this trail to go up the mountain, and there is a tree blocking this. Don't know how long this has been here. Hi. I just gotta get out of the way. As long as I can clear this right here so we can get by, that'll be good, but this is all in the way, and it's wet and nasty. Alright, passage unlocked. I'm gonna move a lot of these little sticks because these right here is tire popping material.
After facing several obstacles along the way, they finally made it to the old watchtower.
Alright, folks. I'm gonna walk up this lookout tower for a bit here. I don't know how high I'm gonna go, but we're gonna go up a little ways. Because should be a good view. Let's see. Not ideal. These ones are in there though. Oh, this is so stupid. Wow, the wind. Folks, this is Tommy checking in from Watchtower 1. I'm happy to report clear skies, big fires, and a beautiful view. Ton of wind.
The original plan was to camp inside the watchtower, but once they saw it up close, it was clearly too old and unstable, so they had to come up with a different plan, and that's when things started to get strange.
It's an absolutely gorgeous night, so I think once the sun continues to set and it gets too dark for Levi to continue to swim, which, if you asked him, that would be never. But we're going to hang out a little bit more and then go find some dinner. And I think we might find a camp spot somewhere here down on the lake and relax tonight. So why not? Might as well. It's a beautiful night.
They set up their tent and decided to go to sleep.
The three of us are officially squared away after a long and exhilarating day, but it was a ton of fun. So we're going to get some good sleep tonight, and we will see you guys in the morning for coffee.
Now, that sounded like a solid plan. By the time they laid down in bed, it was nearly 10 p.m., and after such a long, exhausting day, it felt perfect. But for some reason, Tommy had a strange feeling in his stomach. Something just felt off. No matter how hard he tried, he couldn't fall asleep. While Sarah and Levi slept peacefully beside him, Tommy lay there, wide awake for hours. And that's when...
At around 12:07, something odd happened. I heard a car come flying down the road and into the parking lot where we parked so we could set up camp, and we were the only ones parked there. Kinda strange. Now at first, I was just thinking, maybe this is just some kids being kids. No big deal, right? Well, then the car slammed into a tree and took off speeding the other direction before eventually coming to a stop about 50 yards from our tent. And this big dude gets out of the car. He was clearly drunk out of his mind and had no idea what he was doing.
At this point, Tommy stepped out of the tent and kept his eyes locked on the man in the woods. The last thing he wanted was for that stranger to come any closer, especially with Sarah and Levi asleep inside. He even called the park rangers and they assured him someone would be on their way, but no one ever showed up. An hour passed. It was now almost 1:30 a.m., and the man in the woods hadn't moved or made a sound. Tommy considered going back into the tent, but that uneasy feeling in his gut wouldn't let him. He knew a thunderstorm was approaching, and for some reason, he felt certain that when it hit, the man would get up and start wandering through their camp. So he waited until well past 2 a.m. Finally, unable to shake the feeling, he woke Sarah and Levi, and they quickly packed up their gear and loaded everything into the truck. Just as they finished, the storm rolled in, and what Tommy had feared all along finally happened.
It's 3 a.m. I'm looking over some of the footage that I had just captured that day, that you guys just watched. And when all of a sudden, Sarah just said my name. I looked up, and he was standing directly in front of our truck, in the pouring rain, in the hail, just standing there. Now, he would have had to have walked right by where we were camping. And who knows what could have happened. He could have rummaged into our tent. It could have turned into a really bad situation. But thankfully, at this point, we're inside of our truck. Now, he eventually walks by our truck, and I peel out of there and just drive up to the top of the camp where there's a rest station and bathrooms. Now, because the storms were coming down so bad, there were a couple people up at the top as well in their vehicles. Me and Sarah told them about what had happened and just warned them. One of them drove off, and we kind of saw that they pumped their brakes as they were driving off and swerved around something, which was strange. Went out of the darkness, about a half a mile from where all this originally happened. Here he comes, walking down the middle of the street, right back at us. Keep recording.
Where? Oh, heck no.
This is yet another encounter that shows just how important it is to trust your instincts. Who knows what could have happened if Tommy hadn't acted on that uneasy feeling? Let's break it down. That man was out there, alone, walking in the rain in the middle of the night, which is strange enough. What kind of person does that in the middle of nowhere? And even more unsettling, he stayed completely still and silent for over an hour when the weather was calm. But the moment the thunderstorm hit, he got up. Could he have been waiting for the storm, using the thunder and rain to mask any sounds, maybe even screams? It's a terrifying thought, but not impossible. That's what makes this encounter so chilling. You never really know what someone's intentions are, and that's exactly why caution matters. Even if that man turned out to be harmless, Tommy made the right call. He didn't take any chances. He got his family out of there before it was too late, and that might have been the decision that kept them safe. But what do you think about this encounter? Would you have done the same as Tommy, packed up and left in the middle of the night? Or would you have stayed hoping it was nothing? Let me know in the comments. I'm really curious to hear your thoughts. Oklahoma Adventures is a Spanish-speaking channel dedicated entirely to exploring forests in search of the mythical creature, Bigfoot. In fact, their entire content revolves around this mystery, and their subscribers love it. Most of their videos end without any sightings because, well, you know how Bigfoot is. He only ever shows up on blurry cameras, in the dark, or when the person filming has the shakiest hands on earth. But the moment someone has a steady shot, he's like, nah, not today. But this time, they might have actually caught him on camera and didn't even realize it.
Ya ando cansadón, hay que llegar por allá. Sacar algo de comer, ¿no?
Sí, vamos.
If you got here, comment the word macaroni.
Aquí un ladito del rito este, ¿no?
Sí, está bien. ¿Aquí?
Sí.
They headed into the woods like they usually do, one of them carrying a rifle. I mean, come on. How is Bigfoot ever going to show himself when you're walking around with that kind of firepower?
¿Qué pasó, papi? ¿Ya está?
Ya llevo.
Sí, porque ya ruge la tripa.
¿Quieres una?
Sí. A salud de ustedes, aventureros.
After a bit more exploring, his wife was setting up a transition to the next scene, but without realizing it, she caught something unusual on camera. Did you catch it? While she was walking toward the tree to set up the transition, a figure briefly appeared on the left side of the frame. It was only there for a few seconds, but it looked like it was covered in hair, matching Bigfoot's classic description almost perfectly. Now, sure, like with any Bigfoot video, this could be faked. But what if this one's actually real? I know some of you are already thinking, yeah, right, whispers, it's fake. But seriously, how do you know? What if we've caught Bigfoot on camera multiple times and just keep refusing to believe it? That's it for today. If you enjoy these kinds of videos, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified when we post. Also, leave a comment below sharing your favorite encounter. And if you have a story of your own that you'd like to have shared, send it to the email in the description. Don't forget to click on one of the videos on the screen to see more.